So we talked about macrovascular diseases, meaning the large vessels, but it doesn't stop there. Microvascular disease, also termed microangiopathy, are vascular and neural diseases that are closely related and intertwined. Blood vessels depend on normal nerve function, and nerves depend on adequate blood flow. The first pathological change in the small blood vessel is narrowing of the blood vessels. As the disease progresses, neuronal dysfunction correlates closely with the development of the blood vessel abnormalities, such as capillary basement membrane thickening and endothelial hyperplasia, which contribute to diminished oxygen tension and hypoxia. Neuronal ischemia is a well-established characteristic of diabetic neuropathy. Blood vessel opening agents, examples of ACE inhibitors or A1 antagonists, can lead to substantial improvements in neuronal blood flow with corresponding improvements in nerve conduction velocities. Thus, small blood vessel dysfunction occurs early in diabetes, parallels the progression of neural dysfunction, and may be sufficient to support the severity of structural, functional, and clinical changes observed in diabetic neuropathy. One cause of microangiopathy is long-term diabetes mellitus. In this case, high blood glucose levels cause the endothelial cells lining the blood vessels to take in more glucose than normal. These cells do not depend on insulin. They then form more glycoproteins on their surface than normal, and also cause the basement membrane to grow thicker and weaker. The walls of the vessels become abnormally thick but weak, and therefore they bleed, leak protein, and slow the flow of blood through the body. And that slowing of blood can be a potential issue. So if you have a creek that is super slow flowing, almost like a stagnant swamp, there's lots of nasties that grow within that area, and things are clinging to the sides, and so that's where you would start to think about clots and stuff clinging to the walls and then building upon that, and then filling up so much that you block off a vessel, and then it breaks off, and then now you got a stroke. Okay, so the walls of the vessels become abnormally thick but weak, and therefore they bleed, leak protein, and slow the flow of blood through the body. Then some cells, for example in the retina, in diabetic retinopathy, or kidney diabetic nephropathy, may not get enough blood and may be damaged. So that's how those things become damaged, those end organs. Nerves, if not sufficiently supplied with blood, are also damaged, which may lead to loss of function, diabetic neuropathy, which would be common in the feet of a diabetic.
Thank you for watching. Keep learning and keep it keto. So keto.